Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. We continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on Canto 4, Chapter 11, text 28. We have been hearing how Svāyambhuva Manu is telling Dhruva Maharaj to accept the will of the Lord, how the Lord is the controller, and to be dependent on the Lord in every circumstance. Yapanchavarsho jananim tvam vihaya
Ya panchavarsho janatim vihaya
matu sapatnya vachasa bhinnamarma
matu sapatya vachasa bhinam
manam gatas tapasa pratyag aksham
vanam
Pratyaksham
aradhya lebhe murdhini padam trilokyaha.
aradhya lebe
Murdhani Padam
lokya.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. My dear Dhruva, at the age of only 5 years, you were very grievously afflicted by the words of your mother's co-wife, and you very boldly gave up the protection of your mother and went to the forest to engage in the yogic process for realization of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As a result of this, you have already achieved the topmost position in all the 3 worlds. Manu was very proud that Dhruva Maharaj was one of the descendants in his family, because at the age of only 5 years, Dhruva began meditating upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and within 6 months, he was able to see the Supreme Lord face to face. So we also feel proud, when our family member does something great, and then we tell everyone, oh, this one, do you know this? He's my whatever, how we are related to them. We try to say that. Because we feel happy, we take pride in their achievements. So Svāyambhuva Manu is also taking pride in Dhruva Maharaj's achievement. He's become a pure devotee. What can be a greater achievement than that? Factually, Dhruva Maharaj is the glory of the Manu dynasty or the human family. The human family begins from Manu. The Sanskrit word for man is Manushya, which means descendant of Manu. Not only is Dhruva Maharaj the glory of the family of Svāyambhuva Manu, but he is the glory of the entire human society. So we are all descendants of Manu. That's why we are Manushya, right? We are all coming from Manu. And so is Dhruva Maharaj. So Prabhupada is pointing out that Dhruva Maharaj is the glory of the entire human society. Because Dhruva Maharaj had already surrendered to the Supreme Godhead, he was especially requested not to do anything unbefitting a surrendered soul. So Manu is giving him good advice. So that's why association is again so important. No matter what platform we are in, we need to have good association. Haribol?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let me
we can.
go on. Okay. Tame namagatmani mukta vigrahe
Tamenam
Ekam Anga Atmani Mukta
vigrahe
vyapashritam nirgunam ekam aksharam
vyapashritam nirgunam ekam aksharam
atmanam anvicha vimuktam atmadrik
atmanam
Atmadrik
Yasmin idam vedam asat pratiyate.
Yes, idam hedam
asat pratiyate.
Therefore, my dear Dhruva, please turn your attention to the Supreme Person, who is the infallible Brahman. Face the Supreme Personality of Godhead in your original position, and thus, by self-realization, you will find this material differentiation to be merely flickering. So this is what good association can do to us, because we are also engrossed in our daily lives, going about our business. And then we may act in certain ways which may in fact degrade us. But when we have good association, then the devotee can wake us up and say, "Hey, don't act like this. It's not up to your position, you know." The living entities have three kinds of vision according to their positions and self-realization. According to the bodily concept of life, one sees differentiation in terms of varieties of bodies. The living entity actually passes through many varieties of material forms. But despite all such changes of body, he is eternal. So we are changing our bodies. We've also had body of human beings also many times. Now so many, we have eternally unlimited varieties we have had. But we, the soul, we are eternal.
Hare
When living
Krishna. Sorry, Hare Krishna. I didn't understand the three kinds of vision.
looking at the mind, body, and the soul.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay, thank you.
So when living entities, therefore, are viewed in the bodily concept of life, one appears to be different from another. Lord Manu wanted to change the vision of Dhruva Maharaj, who was looking upon the yakshas as different from him or as his enemies. Actually, no one is an enemy or a friend. Everyone is passing through different types of bodies under the law of karma. But as soon as one is situated in his spiritual identity, he does not see differentiation in terms of this law. So we are seeing someone is my friend, this one is not my friend, or this one is my enemy. But why are we seeing that? Because we are just seeing the bodies. We are not able to see that we are actually all spirit souls, and there is no enmity between the souls. We are not able to see whatever is coming to us is that person is just an instrument in the hands of the Lord to give us the karma that we are due to receive. But we get so personal and we get so engrossed. And like this, we create so many bodies for ourselves. In other words, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 1854, Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma na sochati na kankshati samasarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labate param. A devotee who is already liberated does not see differentiation in terms of the outward body. He sees all living entities as spirit souls, eternal servants of the Lord. So one who's actually reached the Brahma-Bhuta platform, he's reached the Brahman, then he sees everyone as equal, sees living entities equally. Sama sarveshu bhuteshu. He's not saying this one is my friend, this is my enemy. Because he himself is not in the body concept of life. So his consciousness is like that. So he's seeing everyone in their true position. He sees all living entities as spirit souls, eternal servants of the Lord.
So I have one question. So
Yes.
is it that because of this that Svāyambhuva Manu is instructing Dhruva Maharaj that all those yakshas are also like, Krishna's, yeah, right? That's the
Yes.
reason he's telling this, that,
That's right.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Dhruva Maharaj was advised by Lord Manu to see with that vision. He was specifically advised to do so because he was a great devotee and should not have looked upon other living entities with ordinary vision. So that's why Prabhupada is pointing this verse, Sama Sarveshu Bhuteshu. So Manu is telling Dhruva Maharaj, hey, you're a pure devotee, you should be Sama Sarveshu Bhuteshu. You should see all living entities equally. So indirectly, Manu pointed out to Dhruva Maharaj that out of material affection, Dhruva thought of his brother as his kin and the yakshas as his enemies. Such observation of differentiation subsides as soon as one is situated in his original position as an eternal servant of the Lord. So Dhruva Maharaj, already, although he was situated in that position, momentarily, because of too much affection for his brother, he had forgotten it. And so now Manu is again bringing him to that consciousness that, hey, Samasarveshu Bhuteshu, look on the Yakshas also as living entities, eternal servants of Krishna. So we can see that if we reach the Brahmabhuta platform, then we will have no shochati, no kankshati, no hankering, no lamentation. We will be able to see everyone equally. So then, that brings happiness, right? So the more we hear and chant, the more we can come to that position. Tvam pratyagatmani tada bhagavati ananta.
Tvam pratyak atmani tada bhagavati anante.
Anandamatra upapanna samasta shakta.
Anandamatra upanna samasta shakto.
Bhaktim vidhaya paramam shanakera vidya.
Bhaktim vidaya
paramam shanakera vidya.
Granthim vibhetsyase mamaham iti prarudham.
Granthim vibhetsyasi mam aham
iti
prarudham.
prarudham.
Thus regaining your natural position and rendering service unto the Supreme Lord, who is the all-powerful reservoir of all pleasure, and who lives in all living entities as the Supersoul, you will very soon forget the illusory understanding of I and mine. So momentarily, Dhruva Maharaj has forgotten. But as Manu was telling him, you will again come back to that position. Sorry. Dhruva Maharaj was already a liberated person because at the age of 5 years, he had seen the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he's a Jivan Mukta, Dhruva Maharaj. While he was still living in the body, he was already liberated. He had seen God face to face. But even though liberated, he was for the time being afflicted by the illusion of Maya, thinking himself the brother of Uttam in the bodily concept of life. So one may say, but he is liberated. Then how can this can happen? Well, this is the difference between God and us. God can never be put into Maya, even momentarily. We, even though we may come on the liberated platform, we are subject sometimes. We can come under illusion. So, but even though he was liberated, he was for the time being afflicted by the illusion of Maya, thinking himself the brother of Uttam in the bodily concept of life. The whole material world is working on the basis of I and mine. This is the root of attraction to the material world. I and mine. If one is attracted by this root of illusory conceptions, I and mine, he will have to remain within this material world in different exalted or nasty positions. I am the body, and everything related to the body is mine. This is what we are thinking right now. This is our conditioning. By the grace of Lord Krishna, the sages and Lord Manu reminded Dhruva Maharaj that he should not continue this material conception of I and mine. So this is the mercy of the devotees. We are going about our business. I and mine, I and mine. We are going about our business. Then the devotee comes and tells us, hey, you're not the body. You are a servant of Krishna. Take up devotional service, chant Hare Krishna, read Bhagavad Gita. So simply by devotional service unto the Lord, his illusion could be eradicated without difficulty. So people may take up different processes to eradicate this illusion. They could be the Gyan process, or there could be the yoga process. But the easiest process is devotional service. It's the easiest and fastest. And Krishna himself says this in the Bhagavad Gita. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. By devotional service, I can be known. So by engaging in devotional service, one can easily understand our true position, also the position of God, and our relationship with Him. Is it okay till now what we have been reading?
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So this one, like I, my, mine, this is one of the vision, right?
This
The
is
body.
our conditioning.
Condition.
Our conditioning.
Okay.
That's what we are thinking all the time. I am this body, and everything in relation to the body is mine. That's our consciousness right now.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Thank you. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
Samyacha rosham bhadram te
Sanyam cha
Bhadram che
pratipam shreyasam param
pratipam shreyasam param
shrutena bhuyasa rajan
Shrutena
bhuyasa
rajan
rajan
agadena yathamayam.
akatena yathamayam.
My dear king, just consider what I have said to you, which will act as medicinal treatment upon disease. Control your anger, for anger is the foremost enemy on the path of spiritual realization. I wish all good fortune to you. Please follow my instructions. Dhruva Maharaj was a liberated soul, and actually he was not angry with anyone. But because he was the ruler, it was his duty to become angry for some time in order to keep law and order in the state. So the reason that Dhruva Maharaj started fighting with the Yakshas in the first place was he's in charge of the state. He has to make sure that there is no mischief happening. His brother Uttama was without fault, yet he was killed by one of the Yakshas. It was the duty of Dhruva Maharaj to kill the offender life for life, because Dhruva Maharaj was the king. When the challenge came, Dhruva Maharaj fought vehemently and punished the Yakshas sufficiently. But anger is such that if one increases it, it increases unlimitedly. In order that Dhruva Maharaj's kingly anger not exceed the limit, Manu was kind enough to check his grandson. So this is what anger does to us. Anger controls us. The pure devotees, they can control the anger, and they can use the anger in the service of Krishna. But what happens to us is we get consumed by anger. We get so controlled by anger, and then anger really can drive us crazy. So like some pure devotees who used anger for the service of Krishna. Does anyone remember?
Shishupal or devotee? Is it
Yeah.
devotee? Okay.
Devotee who used anger for service of Krishna is Hanuman. For he served for the service of Lord Ramachandra. That he lit fire to Lanka. His tail was lit on fire. He was angry and he burnt the Lanka. That was his service to Lord Ramachandra. And Arjuna, when he's fighting the battle of Kurukshetra, he's angry because you cannot fight a battle without being angry. But he's using that anger in the service of Krishna. Now we may think, yeah, I can do it too. But are we actually able to do it? Are we able to control our anger? So here, Svāyambhuva Manu has come to give good counsel to Dhruva Maharaj that don't become excessively angry. Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita that anger, lust, and greed, they are the gateways to hell, and that we should, control them. And Prabhupada points out anger is such a thing that we let it fuel and it grows. It really, really, we become angry, we don't stop it, and we can really create a big, big thing. Dhruva Maharaj could understand the purpose of his grandfather and he immediately stopped the fighting. The words Shrutena Bhuyasa, by constantly hearing, are very important in this verse. By constantly hearing about devotional service, one can check the force of anger, which is detrimental to the process of devotional service. So constantly hearing about devotional service. So hearing and chanting. Hearing and chanting with taking deep shelter can help us to control our anger, which is detrimental to the process of devotional service, because when we are angry, we forget Krishna. We are just so consumed by whatever we are angry with or angry about. Srila Parikshit Maharaj said that the constant hearing of the pastimes of the Lord is the panacea for all material diseases. So constant hearing, satatam kirtanam, this is what the devotees are doing. Satatam kirtanam, constant hearing and chanting. This is the medicine for all material disease. To remove the disease from the core. But of course, we may say, oh, but I have a cold, let me just chant. Well, because our chant, it can, but our chanting is not so pure. So we might have to still go to the doctor, and take our medicine. But at the same time, continue to hear and chant. Same time, continue to hear and chant. Everyone, therefore, should hear about the Supreme Personality of Godhead constantly. Yeah. We need to take things in context. For example, if we say, oh, chanting it's true. It cures all our material diseases. But now I wear glasses. I say, no, I'm not going to wear glasses. I'm just going to chant. And my eyes are going to become okay. I think I'm asking too much then, I still need to wear my glasses, but I need to continue to hear and chant. So everyone therefore should hear about the Supreme Personality of Godhead constantly. By hearing, one can always remain in equilibrium, and thus his progress in spiritual life will not be hampered. So constant hearing and chanting regularly. Hearing about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And hearing, one can always remain in equilibrium. Helps us to control our mind. Dhruva Maharaj's becoming angry with the miscreants was quite appropriate. There's a short story in this connection about a snake who became a devotee upon instruction of Narad, who instructed him not to bite anymore. Since ordinarily a snake's business is to fatally bite other living entities, as a devotee he was forbidden to do so. So there's a snake, he becomes a devotee. And then what happens? Narad Muni, I told him, don't bite. So then, unfortunately, people took advantage of this non-violence on the part of the snake, especially the children, who began to throw stones at him. He did not bite anyone, however, because it was the instruction of a spiritual master. So now people are taking advantage of the snake. The children are mistreating him, hurting him, injuring him, but now he's not biting because his spiritual master told him, don't bite. After a while, when the snake met his spiritual master, Narad, he complained, I have given up the bad habit of biting innocent living entities, but they're mistreating me by throwing stones at me. Upon hearing this, Narad Muni instructed him, don't bite, but do not forget to expand your hood as if you were going to bite. Then they will go away. Similarly, a devotee is always non-violent. He is qualified with all good characteristics. But in the common world, when there is mischief made by others, we should not forget to become angry, at least for the time being, in order to drive away the miscreants. So this is relating to the pure devotee, because the pure devotee can control his anger. He can control when to be angry and when to withdraw it. We get consumed by anger. Yeah, we get controlled by anger. So this is for the pure devotee. Any comments or questions? So if not, then we'll stop here for today. Thank you so much for listening and joining in. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare